Hey, church family. As we turn to Mark chapter 3 today, Jesus indicates at the beginning and at the end of the chapter what type of followers he is seeking. In the first 6 verses, Jesus encounters a man with a withered hand. This encounter takes place in the synagogue on the Sabbath. And watching this encounter are the religious leaders of the day. And they are watching Jesus to see whether or not he will heal this man and break the Sabbath. And if he does, they're waiting to accuse him. In verses 4 and 5, we see that Jesus asks them a very penetrating question and then responds to them. Mark writes in verse 4, "And he, Jesus, said to them, the religious leaders, 'Is it lawful on the Sabbath to do good or to do harm, to save life or to kill?' But they, the religious leaders, were silent. And he, Jesus, looked around at them with anger, grieved at their hardness of heart, and said to the man, 'Stretch out your hand.' He stretched it out, and his hand was restored." Jesus was angered and grieved at the hardness of heart of the so-called religious leaders. Jesus was not looking for followers who were merely outwardly religious. He was looking for followers who were open-hearted, who were soft-hearted, who were open to God's work in their lives and in the lives of those around them. At the close of chapter 3, we see Jesus indicates another thing that he's looking for in his followers. He's surrounded by a crowd, and the crowd lets him know that his mother and his brothers have come to see him. And Jesus responds in a very unique way. Rather than parting the crowd and bringing his mother and brothers up front, Jesus responds in this way in verses 33 through 35. "And he answered them, 'Who are my mother and my brothers?' And looking about at those who sat around him, he said, 'Here are my mother and my brothers. For whoever does the will of God, he is my brother and sister and mother.'" Jesus was looking for followers who would do the will of God. It didn't matter who they were related to. He wanted people who would seek and follow him and do the will of God. As you read through Mark chapter 3 today, spend some time in self-examination. Ask yourself the questions, am I hard-hearted? Or am I being open-hearted and soft-hearted, open to the work of God in my life? And then ask yourself, am I seeking my will? Or am I seeking the will of the Father? And am I seeking to truly follow Jesus? I hope you enjoy your time with Jesus today.